Hello everyone, this is Saili Salkar from Sanjeevani Junior College Department of Bifocal Electronics. As in the first three YouTube lectures, we have seen the part 1 of chapter number 2 power supplies. That is, we have covered its introduction and we have studied the first block of a block diagram that was of rectifier. We have studied all types of rectifiers in detail in that first three YouTube lectures. Now, in this video lecture, we are going to start with the next part of the chapter. That is, we will name it as part 2 of chapter number 2. So, let's see what are the contents of these YouTube lectures. So, in this particular lecture, we are going to cover these all contents. That is, we are going to see the power supply filters. So, filter, as you remember, is a second block of power supply which we are going to study in this lecture. So we are going to then start with the two terms related to the filters or related to rectifiers, that is ripple factor we are going to see, and we are going to see the definition of rectification efficiency. Then we are going to start with the actual types of filters. So there are four types of filters which we are going to learn in this chapter, that is capacitor filter, inductor filter, LC filter and RC filter. So power supply filters. So what actually is a filter? As we have already seen during the block diagram explanation, that filters are nothing but they are the immediate circuits connected after the rectifier. So these filters are the circuits which are used to filter the rectifier output. So we know the rectifier gives us the output in terms of pulsating DC, that is it contains AC as well as DC. So what is the function of filter? So the filter circuits are connected immediately after rectifiers. So the filters or the main role of filters is to remove the AC components present at the output of rectifier. That is, whatever pulsating output we get at the output of rectifier, that pulsating output should be made into pure output. That is pure DC signal we should get at the output of power supply. So to do this, or to remove the DC or to remove the AC from the rectifier output, the filter circuits are connected immediately after them. So here you can see, as previously indicated, the operation of electronic circuits is dependent on direct current source. So we know most of the electronic applications works on DC source. That is why we use the power supply in all the applications. So it has been shown how alternating current change into pulsating direct current. That is, this line means that we have already seen how AC current can be changed into direct current with the help of rectifier. That is, we have learned the different types of rectifier and how they convert AC into pulsating DC. Although this current is not of steady value, it has ripples. So the term ripple here is important. That is, what is ripple actually? When the output or when the rectifier gives us the output, it contains some amount of AC component. That is, it does not gives us the pure DC output. So whatever AC component are present at the output of rectifier, that AC components are termed in technical language as ripples. So what is ripple over here? Or what ripple in power supply means? That is the unwanted AC components present in the rectifier output. Whatever are the AC components which we do not want, that is unwanted AC component which are present in the rectifier output, are called as ripples. So ripple can be defined as the departure of the waveform of a rectifier from pure DC. If you see the waveform of DC signal, it is a straight line waveform, and if that waveform is departuring, that is if it is moving away from the straight line, that is up or down, then it becomes AC naturally. So the ripples are nothing but that portion of rectifier output which fluctuates or departure the waveform from the pure DC signal. So in you can remember the ripples as the ripples are nothing but unwanted AC component present at the output of rectifier. So what is ripple? Ripple is a fluctuating AC component present in the rectified DC output. So ripples are present at the output of rectifier. The output of a rectifier may be either DC current or voltage. So if we deal with the rectifier, the output of rectifier may be in terms of current or voltage. So in view of this, AC fluctuating component present in DC output voltage means if the output of rectifier is in terms of voltage, the ripples are called as voltage ripples, and if the output of rectifier is in terms of current, then the ripples are called as current ripple. That is voltage ripple for voltage output of rectifier and current ripple for current output of rectifier. So here in this slide we have learned about ripples. So ripples are nothing but they are the unwanted AC component present at the output of rectifier. So basically there are two terms which can measure the amount of ripples present at the output of a rectifier. That is, if we take any kind of power supply and if we see the output of rectifier, there should be some method to measure that output. So there are two terms, and the formulas of those terms will tell us how to measure the output of the, or how to measure the ripples present at the output of rectifier. So the first term related to the output of rectifier, or first term related to the ripples, is nothing but ripple factor. So here is the definition of ripple factor. That is, ripple factor is the ratio of RMS value of AC component present in the rectified output to the average value of the rectified output, and it is always less than unity. So ripple factor is always less than unity, and it is a ratio of two factors, we can say, that is RMS voltage which is coming at the output of rectifier and the DC voltage which is coming at the output of rectifier. So rectifier basically converts AC into DC, but that DC is not pure DC, it contains some amount of AC which are called as ripples. So if we deal with the AC, we know the AC signal always has a RMS voltage or RMS value. So while measuring the ripples present at the output of rectifier, we have to use the term ripple factor, and we have to count the ripples by using the formula RMS voltage divided by DC voltage which is coming at the output of rectifier. So this is what the ripple factor indicates. So this is basically a measurement of ripple which denotes the purity of rectified output. So we know when the output of rectifier comes, that is, it contains some amount of AC, that is, it is impure output. So this ripple factor helps us to measure that purity. Means the purity of output of rectifier is measured by the formula of ripple factor. The more the ripple factor, the lesser will be the purity of rectified output. That is, if this ripple factor or if this formula gives us the calculation, or whatever is the calculation coming when used, when this formula is used, if that ripple factor is more than it indicates that our output of rectifier is less pure. This means more will be the fluctuating AC component. That is, if ripple factor is more, there will be more AC component present at the output of rectifier, and the output of rectifier will be then less pure. Thus, we have to take care, or we have to make some arrangement to reduce this ripple factor. If we reduce the ripple factor, AC fluctuating component will be reduced automatically, and then the purity of output of rectifier or the output of rectifier will be more pure. So what we have to do, we have to make some arrangement so that the ripple factor gets reduced at the output of rectifier and we get more pure DC waveform. So this is all about rectifier, that is RMS voltage divided by DC voltage. So the second term related to rectifier is nothing but rectification efficiency. Now, if the output of rectifier is impure signal, so we have to measure its efficiency. Every electronic device or circuit has its efficiency, means how effectively it gives us the output. So here is the formula for measuring the output of rectifier or measuring the efficiency of rectifier, which is called as rectification efficiency. So rectification efficiency is quantitative measure of rectifier efficiency. That is, we have to measure the rectifier efficiency by using rectification efficiency formula. So what it is a ratio of DC power output to the AC power input of rectifier. So we know rectifier converts AC signal into DC signal, but that DC is impure DC. So the rectification efficiency is nothing but, and we already know the efficiency formula of efficiency is output upon input. So in case of rectifier, we know output is DC, that is DC power output, and input is AC. So rectification efficiency in case of rectifier is denoted by this symbol. This symbol is called as eta, and it is given as eta is equal to PDC, that is output of rectifier divided by input of rectifier into 100 in case of percentage. So output of rectifier is nothing but DC signal and input of rectifier is AC signal. So measurement of output by input of rectifier is called as its efficiency, denoted by eta. So these were two terms related to the rectifier, that is ripple factor ripple factor is used to calculate the amount of ripples present in the output of rectifier, and secondly the rectification efficiency, which is used to calculate the efficiency of that particular rectifier. So if we measure the ripple factor, if ripple factors are more, then we get the less efficiency in the rectifier, that is we get less output. So to reduce this ripple factor, we have to make some arrangement, and the arrangement is nothing but we have to simply connect a filter circuit at the output of rectifier. So the work of filter is nothing but to give us the more filtered output, that is the filter will do what, it will reduce the impure signal at the output of rectifier, that is it will reduce the amount of AC signal present at the output of rectifier and make our signal more pure, or it will make our signal more DC. That is why we connect the rectifier, or the output of rectifier is given to the next block of the power supply, which is called as filter. So basically when we learn about filters, so we have to keep in mind that the filters are nothing but they are the circuit connected immediately at the output of rectifier in the power supply. And what is the work of filter? The work of filter is to reduce the ripples present at the output of rectifier. That is, the filters make the output of rectifier more pure. So basically there are 4 types of filters which we are going to learn, that is capacitor filter, inductor filter, LC filter and RC filter. So as we are going to use capacitor, inductor and resistors, these 3 are nothing but the passive electronic component. These 3 resistors, capacitors and inductors are passive electronic components, and we are going to use these passive components to make our filter, or to make the filter circuit we are going to make use of these 3 passive electronic components, and that is why these filters are also called as passive filters, because we use the passive electronic components in them. So we are going to learn them one by one. First type of filter we are going to see is the capacitor or C input filter. So here is the circuit diagram and the waveforms which will come at the output of the filters. So we will see first the circuit diagram, and then we will learn the working of the capacitor input filter. So here you can see in this diagram, AC signal is given to, this diagram is the basically the power supply diagram, that is the circuit diagram of power supply. So here is the AC signal, then AC signal goes to transformer, transformer here is generated by T1. After the coming out of the secondary of transformer, it is given to this rectifier. These 4 diodes represent the bridge type of rectifier. 4 diodes represent the bridge rectifier. So after the rectifier, as already stated, the rectifier output is given to the filter. Now here first type of filter which we are going to learn is capacitor input filter. So now the output of this rectifier, that is bridge rectifier, will be given to this capacitor. Here this capacitor will act as a filter for this particular circuit. That is, if we have to use the capacitor input filter, we have to connect the capacitor immediately after the rectifier. That is, immediately after the rectifier we have to connect the capacitor, and that is why this type of filter becomes capacitor or C input filter. After that we have to connect the load RL, and across the load RL we have to take the output of our circuit. So in this diagram basically the transformer is used, which is the first block of power supply. Then the rectifier is used. The rectifier is of the type bridge wave rectifier, and then the filter is used, that is a capacitor connected in parallel to the rectifier will act as a filter circuit for this circuit diagram. These are nothing but the input, these are nothing but the waveforms, that is first waveform is nothing but the waveform when the filter is not connected, that is this is the output of rectifier, and second waveform represents the diagram when filter is connected, that is the output when capacitor C is connected. So now we will see how this circuit works. So let's see the working of this type of filter. Now here the filter is connected in parallel with the rectifier, that is with the bridge wave rectifier the capacitor is connected in parallel. So the basic property of capacitor, we are knowing that the capacitor is used mainly for charging and discharging, that is the function of capacitor is to charge itself through a particular path and to use that same charging to and use that same charging to charge the another device, or it is discharging through the another path across which it is connected. That is a basic property of capacitor, to charge and to discharge. So the same property will be utilized by the capacitor in this filter circuit. That is, when the input comes across the power supply, that is from transformer, it goes to the rectifier. Rectifier gives us the output in this type of waveform. That is, these waveforms are nothing but the output of rectifier when no filter is connected. When no filter is connected, we get the pulsating DC output. That is, we get the DC signal, but that is not pure DC signal. AC signal is also present in that. Now, to remove this AC signal, what we are doing, we are connecting a capacitor in parallel with the rectifier. Now, when this output is coming out of the bridge rectifier, that is, at this point we get these waveforms. Now, this waveform starts passing through the capacitor. While traveling through the capacitor, the waveform travels in two types. That is, firstly, it goes on rising from 0 onwards to the peak value. When this waveform rises from 0 onwards to its maximum or peak value, the capacitor starts charging. When this waveform reaches to its maximum value, that is peak value, the capacitor becomes fully charged. Once the capacitor is fully charged, then the waveform again starts reducing to the 0 value. Once this capacitor is fully charged, while the reducing of the waveform, the capacitor discharges through the RL. The capacitor discharges through the resistor RL. That is, two things, or so what we can say, the two things occur over here. That is, the charging of the capacitor occurs, and then the discharging of capacitor occurs. So the capacitor charges from 0 to maximum value of this waveform, and it discharges from maximum value to 0 value again. So if we divide this waveform into two parts, that is 0 to maximum and maximum to 0, we find that capacitor charges in the half portion of this waveform and discharges again in the next half portion. So now, if the capacitor starts charging, the charging path for capacitor is provided through this rectifier. That is, through the rectifier output comes and it starts charging this capacitor. That is, the charging path to the capacitor is provided by this bridge rectifier. Whereas once the waveform starts to fall to the 0 value, the capacitor discharges. So now when the capacitor discharges, it utilizes the path of RL, because C1 and RL, that is capacitor and RL, are connected in parallel with each other. So we know when any of the component is connected in parallel to the capacitor, that component utilizes the discharge path of the capacitor. So similarly, the capacitor charges through the parallelly connected bridge rectifier, whereas it discharges through the parallelly connected RL. That means now the capacitor has formed the two paths, that is charging path through rectifier and discharging path through RL. So now what happens when actually the capacitor charges and discharges? So here in the second waveform you can see the capacitor charging path is given, that is this portion, and capacitor discharging path is given, that is this portion. So the charging and discharging is a basic function of capacitor, and the basic property of capacitor is that it bypasses AC, that is AC components are easily bypassed by the capacitor, whereas it blocks DC. So what happens, this waveform which comes out of rectifier is nothing but an AC signal waveform. So the basic property of capacitor is to bypass AC and to block DC. So when this waveform starts charging the capacitor takes this waveform, charges itself and bypasses that waveform to the ground. Capacitor takes the portion of this waveform, charges itself and bypasses that AC signal to the ground directly. Whereas when it discharges, or when it starts discharging through RL, whatever the DC signal or DC components or the average DC value present at the output of rectifier. So output of rectifier is what? It is a pulsating DC, that is it contains AC as well as DC. So what this capacitor do? It takes the AC for its charging and gives it to the ground, whereas whatever DC is present, it stores in itself. It stores the DC in itself, that is whatever DC is present at the output of rectifier, it stores in itself, and while discharging, it gives this DC signal, or this DC signal is transferred to the load RL while discharging path of the capacitor. So what has happened? In this circuit, capacitor has charged from 0 to maximum value of the AC signal, and it has given the AC signal to the ground, and it has bypassed the AC signal to the ground, whereas it has stored the DC signal in it and given that DC signal or DC voltage output directly to RL, because C and RL are connected in parallel to each other. So whatever DC signal was present at the output of rectifier, that gets stored in the capacitor, which is then given to parallelly connected RL, and then at RL we have only the DC output voltage. So here you can see this waveforms, that is denoted by EDC. In first figure, the DC signal was only this much, that is this much portion was only DC, and rest all the part was AC signal present at the output of rectifier without filter. But when we have connected the filter, the value of EDC has raised, that is now DC signal is from this value to this dotted line, that is the value of DC signal is now raised, and only this upper peaks are now AC, which are present at the output of the filter. That is, when without filter we had this much portion AC, but when we have connected the filter, only this peak portion is now AC, rest all the portion is transferred to the DC signal. This was all about the working of the capacitor input filter. The theory of this is given below in this slide. So now the rest of the three filters, that is L filter, LC filter and RC filter, we will see in the next video lecture. Thank you.